This is the X-Zone Broadcast Network, broadcasting worldwide on broadcast affiliates and satellite program providers, including CNN Broadcast Network, Sirius Satellite Network, Star Media, Good News Radio Network, Angel Broadcast Network, Wiki Broadcast Network, and WPBN TV. For more information on the X-Zone Broadcast Network, visit us at www.xzbn.net.
All Hit Radio.
Welcome to the X-Zone, a place where fact is fiction and fiction is reality. Now, here's your host, Rob McConnell.
And welcome back, everyone. This is the X-Zone. I am Rob McConnell. We're coming to you from our broadcast center in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada, on the X-Zone Broadcast Network and our growing family of broadcast affiliates right around the world, as well as the many satellite programming providers that we are on these days. If you'd like to send me an email, studio@xzoneradiotv.com, and all social media sites, X-Zone Radio TV, and our website. Guess what it is? You've got it after 25 years. If you don't know it by now, something's wrong somewhere. www.xzoneradiotv.com. I've got to tell you something, X-Zone Nation. I've heard about this, the clown syndrome, the clown sightings. And I figured, what is all this about? But then a good friend of mine in Niagara Falls who works at the Niagara Falls Review said, hey, Rob, why don't you check out one of the stories we're running today? And I did, and there I turned to the page that he sent me, and it says, creepy clown craze hits Canada. Costume store owner warns, stay away from schoolyards. That's perverted. Let me see. Sean Hamilton, the owner of the Amazing Party and Costume in Toronto, is getting calls daily from people looking for creepy clown costumes, and he has one message for them. Don't be stupid. Stay away from the schoolyards. That's just perverted. Creepy clown pranksters who have terrified kids and adults since the middle of the summer in the southern states have moved north of the border with reported sightings and threats from Nova Scotia all the way to Alberta. We've decided that we would check in with a clown expert. Chrissy Steed is our special guest, and she is an adolescent motivational expert. And the question to Crissy is, how real is America's creepy clown phenomenon? Crissy, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
So how...
in that respect, I mean, it's crazy what's going on right now with this clown phenomenon.
Is there any sense to it? Like, is this just an extension of the Pokemon craze? Is this just something that is arising because Halloween is so close? Or is there something more behind it that we have yet to discover?
I absolutely believe that Halloween is around the corner. Mm-hmm. This is when you typically see all the jokesters. You hear about the guy in the white van driving around and just crazy things that you wouldn't necessarily hear about any time of the year. I guarantee you, after November 1st, this will probably blow over. and everyone will say, clown what? It'll be a thing of the past.
Just for our Canadian listeners, Nova Scotia RCMP arrested a 24-year-old man wearing a clown mask, who they say was grabbed at the clothing who was grabbing at the clothing of a young man walking home. Earlier this week, Halifax police said a photo posted on social media appeared to show a clown standing outside a local high school. Let me see. Similar threats were made on social media in Truro, Nova Scotia. In Toronto, cops say that a teen dressed up as a clown chased kids around Toronto schoolyard Wednesday afternoon. Like, is the world going crazy? Is this something Stephen King has something to do with? Does he have a new book coming out?
Not to my knowledge, no. But I really do believe that there are copycats. So with the rise of social media and people seeing, there's a clown, tactic or scare tactic going on, I'm going to join that. and be a part of it. You have kids out here, and most of them are young, who are they follow the crowd. So if the crowd is doing something, they're going to follow the crowd too. Think about it like Pokemon. One person did it, and then it caught on. So it's really a ripple effect. I wouldn't take it too seriously as far as classifying it as a real threat to society at all.
But, clowns were supposed to be funny. Clowns were supposed to make us laugh, not scare the hell out of us. What happened?
Well, you have, the thing is that you have a lot of, you have horror movies coming out right now and different things coming out, and they're just feeding off, to be honest, of what they see.
Well, I could see it.
What they see.
I could see them being scared if they were masks and people dressed as Hillary Clinton or Donald Trump. But clowns, I guess they are clowns in one way, aren't they?
Well, you know what? They're feeding into the phobias. A lot of people, unfortunately, it's crazy. They're scared of clowns. And they're feeding into that phobia of scary clowns and, clowns being this weird, psycho sort of thing. And, I personally know of a few people, adults, who are scared to death of a clown. And I think people are feeding into those fears.
All right, Chrissy, stand by. You and I have to take a short break. Exo Nation, Chrissy Steed is our very special guest, www.KiddiePreneur.com. And we're going to be talking about the fear of clowns, as well as how you should talk to your children about this. This is the X Zone. I am Rob McConnell. And for all you clowns out there, you better not come around my place because I'm an ex-cop and I know how to take care of clowns. We'll be back on the other side of this break. Don't go away.
This is Kevin Randall. For nearly 30 years, I have been investigating the case of the Roswell UFO. I have interviewed hundreds of people and stood on the crash site. Now in Roswell in the 21st century, I have reviewed dozens of hours of audio and videotaped interviews, examined hundreds of files that relate to the crash, and have returned to Roswell in an attempt to put all that information into the proper perspective. For the first time in Roswell in the 21st century, I have made a dispassionate reevaluation of all that material and provide a new look at what happened. This is a book that clears away all the clutter that has hidden the truth for so long, strips away the various lies that surround the case, exposes the Air Force attempts at cover-up, and found a core of solid information that tells us all where the case stands today. Roswell in the 21st century will be available in just a few weeks. For more information, please visit my website at www.kevinrandall.blogspot.com.
Gibbs A. Williams, Ph.D., is a practicing psychoanalyst, supervisor, researcher, and author in New York City. Much of his life has been dedicated to understanding nature and the uses of meaningful coincidences or synchronicities. His radical and original non-Jungian, non-mystical, non-magical theory of synchronicities illuminates much of the fog surrounding this challenging and perplexing topic. His ideas and manners are fresh, presented in a style that is both entertaining and highly informative. He is also an expert on crisis intervention specially focused on violence reduction for the police and citizens, mastering anxiety, frustration, and stress without the use of medication, and effectively preventing and treating heroin addiction. Dr. Williams can be contacted at his email address at gwwilliamsny11@aol.com or visit his website at www.drgibbswilliams.com.
Shamanism is recognized as a method to access the quantum level. Mastery of shamanic skills puts spiritual information and healing power into your hands. Path Home Shamanic Art School, a bonded Colorado certified occupational school, has met rigorous state standards ensuring its director and instructors have the qualifications to teach the shamanic arts. Path Home offers its certification program in blocks of study. Block 1, a 5-day intensive, will be held in the beautiful mountain town of Coaldale, Colorado, October 13th through 18th. Registration deadline is September 12th. Experience journey trance, power animals, helping spirits, sacred space, and life purpose. Come discover your power. Join me, Gwilda Wiyaka, in the magical world of shamanism. Call 303-775-3431 or visit findyourpathhome.com.
Welcome back, everyone. Chrissy Steed is our special guest, and she is an adolescent motivational expert. And the abundance of news stories and the holy grail of analytics, Google Trends, will tell you that the phenomenon is spreading when it comes to the fear of clowns, whether or not it is based in fact. The number of people searching for clown sightings on Google has spiked in the past several weeks, from no searches in late August to dozens each day by the start of October. Police have strengthened security at schools for anonymous clown-related threats, and officers have also issued updates on department Facebooks asking residents to stop sending in tips about clowns. The image of a creepy clown taps into the people's fears and is posing a real problem within the younger community. So how do we talk to our kids and keep them safe? My guest this hour, Chrissy Steed, uses her book, The KiddiePreneur In You, to explain adolescent mind and how things like scary clowns can really work on their conscience. So, Chrissy, how do we take it from here? Now, I think you and I both agree that social media is just playing into the fear factor when it comes to the clowns. But kids, young kids, don't understand what is going on. So how do we talk to our kids?
Well, I think the first thing that parents need to understand and do is that don't instill the fear of clowns into your children. That's not the fear, and that's not the way to go. I have an 8-year-old, and the way I speak to her about it, because she is asking, she's like, Mom, are all clowns bad, and why are they doing this? And I'm like, no, all clowns aren't bad, but this is what you need to do. You treat a clown like you treat a stranger. So the same thing, don't go up to strangers. Don't speak to people that you don't know. If there's someone that looks suspicious or you feel like you're in danger, reach out to a trusted adult. Go to someone else. So pretty much the tone is the same as far as, the stranger danger kind of concept. But I wouldn't pinpoint it specifically to clowns. Then it instills this fear. So when they go to circuses, it's automatically, this clown is bad. I can't go near it. So
Sure.
We don't want to instill that fear in children.
And this is from a radio station that I used to be the executive producer at, News Talk 610 CKTB, from their website. Just now, Niagara police say they're investigating reports of clown sightings in the region. A Facebook post is shared online shows pictures of a clown at the Welland Avenue Walmart in St. Catharines, allegedly chasing customers in the parking lot. There are other reports of clown sightings in Welland and Niagara Falls. Niagara Regional Police Constable Phil Gavin tells CKTB that they are looking into these reports. Unexplained clown sightings have become a recent phenomenon in the United States and are now appearing in Canada. So is this like copycats? But once again...
Definitely copycats. Like I said, with the rise of social media, they're seeing this online. They're seeing it in the news. It's like, hey, this looks like something fun. Let me do that. Older kids, teenagers, young adults are typical pranksters, and I think this is just another way for them to prank others. I actually read recently that there was a clown on a bridge standing there and kind of scaring people, not really doing anything, but just standing there. And the cops actually said it was okay, because he wasn't doing it. He wasn't bothering anyone. He was just standing there. So I think you have a lot of pranksters, a lot of copycats. I really wouldn't take it seriously, to be honest.
You were saying that some people scare their kids with clowns. Who in their right mind would do that? What kind of parent is so warped, so demented, so perverted that they use clowns to scare their kids with? Like, these are people who shouldn't have kids.
Well, I don't think it's the parents per se. I think it's ingrained fears of the parents. So if the parents grew up scared of clowns, then they tell their kids about these stories of, oh my God, I met a clown and his face is scary, and I'm scared of it. So then the kids develop this fear. I don't think the parents well, most parents anyway,
Yeah.
don't do it intentionally.
So let me see. Are our children smarter than we think?
I do think so. I think so. When I was younger, our fear was, oh, there's a white van coming through here. You have to be scared of this white van. The kids today are questioning everything. They want to know why and, why they're doing this and who's this person and what's the theory behind it. Kids from back in the day, we took things at face value. If there's a clown, if there's something going on, we made sure we stayed away from it. But the kids today, they're savvy. They're going on, they're researching, they're trying to figure out exactly what's going on.
So the fact that the kids have access to all this technology that can give them answers that were not accessible to kids, we used to use a library where there were books.
Right. Encyclopedia.
Exactly. Does this work both sides of the sword where it's good and bad?
Right. It definitely is because they do have access to social media and different outlets and the news and everything like that. They are becoming more aware. They know more. They're exposed to more compared to when we were younger, when we had encyclopedias, and if you didn't watch it on the news, you probably didn't hear about it. But they're on social media. They hear their friends talking about it. They're going to school, and their friends are saying, "Hey, have you seen it on Instagram?" So it's a positive and it's a negative, because not only are they exposed to more things that are potentially dangerous or not cool, but they also can grasp information and kind of figure out what's real and what's not, and form an educated opinion.
So how do we protect our children and their brilliant minds from something like this, the clown scare, the fear of clowns, and whatever else social media might engage the less intelligent into doing?
Well, I really believe it's up to the parents to educate their children. Parents have to be savvy as well. They need to know what social media sites are available, what their kids are being exposed to. They need to be supervised when they're online so they know exactly what's going on and how to limit their exposure to such things. So I definitely have the parents more involved in what's going on, and I think it'll make a big difference.
I can understand that with children, but what about these teenagers that are being scared by clowns? People who go to a shopping center are being chased by clowns. This does not seem to me to be a person who is in their right frame of mind.
Right. I say with the teenager, you get to be vigilant. Walk in groups, stay together, be aware of your surroundings. Unfortunately, as teenagers are, parents aren't supervising them 1,000% because, at that age, they don't want parents hanging around them all day. But I would say definitely travel in packs, be mindful, try to stay in well-lit areas, notify the police if something is not right. Just really be vigilant, especially in today's society, what's going on, even outside of the clowns. Just know your surroundings. Never travel alone if you can help it. And, if you see authority, try to stay around positivity and things of that nature.
Yeah, it's just like the old adage when dealing with strange areas where terrorism is supposed to be. For example, in the airports, if you see something strange, report it. If you see a bag,
report it.
It's common sense. But it also seems it's common sense not for people to dress up in clown outfits. So, I've got to tell you something, Crissy. As an ex-cop, I find this very, very unsettling that we have adults and teenagers who are going in and dressing up as a clown and then scaring people, chasing people, grabbing people, which is assault.
Right. Now, it's weird because mental illness is on the rise. So what we see as, oh my God, that's out of the norm. That's not how you act in society. You shouldn't be doing these things. You have individuals with mental illnesses who don't see any issue or any problems with what they're doing. They actually think it's thrilling for them. They get some sort of excitement out of it, which is scary. because they're not really understanding the ramifications of what they're doing.
Well, you know what? This has sparked so many calls into our newsroom here at the Canadian News Network that the people on the other side of the building at the Canadian News Network, they're actually right now building a website. And Craig, what's the website? clownsightings.org.
Oh.
And what they're doing is they're going to be putting in the places where clown sightings are, what to do. And if it's okay with you, Crissy, I'd like to put a link to your website and to you on that site.
Absolutely.
Okay,
Absolutely.
Great. Once again, if you're not part of the solution, you're part of the problem, right? And you, my dear, from what I've read, are part of the solution. And you're to be commended for that.
Thank you.
All right, tell me, we've got about 3 minutes before I have to take my next break. Tell me a little bit about KiddiePreneur.
Well, the KiddiePreneur brand is a company which I founded. It teaches young children and youth. This is a positive. It'll keep them out of trouble and possibly keep them away from all the clown nonsense going on at the moment. But we teach children entrepreneurship skills. They learn to open their own businesses, start their own businesses, and become productive individuals in today's society. We're actually looking for independent business owners, schools, teachers, to actually adopt the curriculum, then implement it within their districts, and this is nationwide.
Wow!
And hopefully, if we can get the kids focused on things that are more positive, it'll keep them away from the negativity and following the crowd. We want them to be leaders and thoughtful people of society.
Has anybody contacted you about opening up, working with you on a clown school?
No, not yet. But, I mean, that can be a possibility. I mean, if they're that interested in clowns, then maybe we can create something around it in a positive way.
You see, that's what I love. I love people who look for solutions, who say, there's enough problems out there. Let's use what we have, take a lemon and turn it into lemonade. And I think that you are doing that, and hats off to you, Crissy.
Thank you.
So let me see. You're also a motivational expert, an adolescent motivational expert.
Yeah.
How do you motivate adolescents? Because, I'm a dad. My wife and I have 6 growing children now, but I remember the adolescent years. Lay on the couch, eat bonbons. I used to call it the Peggy Bundy syndrome. That's it.
Peggy Bundy, yes.
Like the lawn needs to be cut. Yeah, later, Dad. That was 3 weeks ago, son. The lawn. Yeah, Dad, come on. It's summer holidays. Like, I worked all year in school. Yeah, you got an F. I can really see how much you worked in school, kid. So, how do we motivate the kids of today?
Well, I think you have to give them choices. They do not, and what I've noticed, they do not operate well under dictatorship. So go mow the lawn, go wash dishes, go do that. It doesn't work today.
Hell, it worked with me.
The concept, huh?
I said it worked with me.
It did with me as well.
Yeah.
It was, if my dad and mom said, get up and do something, I got up in 2 seconds.
Uh-huh.
And everything was done. Wash the dishes, clean this. I did it with no issue. But today's children are more challenging. They're more advanced and they're more mature for the most part than we were as kids. I think giving them leeway, asking questions, allowing them to be a part of coming up with the solution to the problem actually helps. And it helps with, I have an 8-year-old and she's like a teen. She has her own opinions and she has her own business as well. Just her thing, she likes the leadership skills.
All right,
so
you and I have to take...
their children
You and I have to take a brief break. We'll be right back. Exo Nation, Chrissy Steed is our special guest. www.KiddiePreneur.com. I'll be back. Don't go away.
Did you know that when you're on the road with limited data or Wi-Fi, you can still listen to the X-Zone radio show with Rob McConnell, The Science of Magic with Gwilda Wiyaka, High Tech with Corey Kay, and every minute of the 24/7, 365 programming of the X-Zone Broadcast Network by calling 712-432-9459, courtesy of TalkStream Live. No smartphone, app, or internet needed. It saves your data plan, and it's free if you have unlimited minutes. Call 712-432-9459 to listen on any phone, anytime, anywhere. Remember, 712-432-9459 for the best of paranormal, new age, thought-provoking, sci-fi radio programming 24/7, 365.
Wouldn't you love to know the secret to everything? Well then, meet Dr. Kimberly McGeorge and her cutting-edge breakthrough knowledge that combines science with possibility. Dr. Kimberly brings real-life answers and healing to those open to alternative solutions. She teaches solution-based programs and classes that will change all areas of your life forever. Specializing in conscious creation, intuitive readings, and energy medicine, you can rapidly shift health, relationships, business, and money and abundance challenges quickly. Receive her best-selling book, Secret to Everything, at no cost by going to secrettoeverything.com/X-Zone. That's right, transformation can start now. Just go to secrettoeverything.com/X-Zone and receive Dr. Kimberly's book for free.
While science pursues fact, magic accesses the quantum level, bridging random facts to form truth. As long as science and magic remain separate and polarized, the truth cannot be known. I'm Gwilda Wiyaka. Join me on the Science of Magic radio program, dedicated to unification and evolution of consciousness. During each episode, I'll be speaking with experienced and respected scientists and mystics. From astrologers to astronomers, from medical doctors to shaman, the scientific method to dowsing and intuition, we'll weave together information from seemingly divergent practices to promote unity and enlightenment. Join me, Gwilda Wiyaka, and the Science of Magic right here on the Mutual Broadcast Network. For more information, visit www.thescienceofmagic.net.
I am Dr. Carl O'Helvey, founder, president of a new cancer foundation focusing on evidence-based physical, mental, and spiritual interventions, including natural cancer cures, prayer, meditation, affirmations, nutrition, and other related holistic cancer prevention and cure modalities. These are used in cancer education, research, and financing care. I ask for your help to continue this important work by donating at www.holisticcancerfoundation.com.
Welcome back, everyone. Have you seen a clown lately? Is there a clown around your corner? Well, apparently clown sightings are becoming a concern to law enforcement officers and parents as well as school teachers. These clowns who, for some reason, love to scare the hell out of kids, adults, adolescents, are getting a thrill out of this, and I think that these people need their heads examined. I'm not a doctor. I'm just a guy who takes a look at life and says, hey, if you've got to dress up as a clown to get your thrills, you need to go see a doctor. And I'm not talking about a doctor who will look at your foot. I'm talking about a doctor who will look at your head. Mind you, if you dress up like a clown and like to scare people, I think your head and your foot, as well as another part of your body, are totally interchangeable. Chrissy Steed is our guest, and she uses her book, KiddiePreneur In You, to explain the adolescent mind, to explain the adolescent mind and how things like scary clowns can really work on their conscience. I remember kids, when I was a kid, being afraid of Santa Claus. Have you ever heard of that?
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Oh.
I love Santa. He was the coolest guy ever.
He still is. He still is, Chrissy. He comes every 24th of December. And, man, I'm going to tell you something, Chrissy. You wake up Christmas morning, there's going to be gifts there for you.
Tons of them. He's the best guy ever.
Yeah. Does the social aspect of the influx of different religions and different philosophies and different ways of being in society because of the open door influx of immigration, does this play into the part that you're seeing when it comes to having to work with children?
No, absolutely not. It has nothing to do with their background or what's going on in their demographics. Not at all.
All right. So how would you, as a motivational expert when it comes to adolescents, motivate kids? How do you do that, Chrissy? I'm sure there are people listening right now. They've pulled over on the side of the road and they're saying, "Oh, this I've got to hear."
Well, number one, don't become a dictator. Teens do not respond to dictatorship sort of task and request. Let them be a leader. Let them be the choosers. Give them choices. Let them decide for themselves. And if they make the wrong decision, it's okay, because you can use it as a learning experience for them. It's okay. I mean, you have to think about it. When we were teenagers, we didn't like to be told exactly what to do. We like to kind of make our own decisions as long as it's not anything that's extremely harmful. Let them make their own decision and then just sit there and watch them fall. It's okay for them to fall. They need to fall in order to realize that what Mommy and Daddy said was actually accurate.
Yeah, you and I come from the same school when we were kids. Mom would say jump, and you'd say how high, how far, and when can I land? But
Exactly.
today it's like, take a chill. I'm busy right now.
Right. You have to motivate them. You have to make them see the importance of what needs to be done. I mean, my daughter's 8 years old, and she has a sneaker line. And it's something that I didn't have to force her to do. It was something that she saw as a benefit to herself. Hey, I can make my own money. Okay, I'm going to start my own sneaker line at 8 years old. They need to see the benefit of what they're doing. If you ask the kids today to go mow a lawn, they're not really benefiting from that. So they're going to be a little more rebellious. But if you say, hey, start your own business. Can you do this? How about you start a business mowing lawns and making your own money? And then it puts things into a different perspective. And that's what the KiddiePreneur brand is all about.
But kids making their own money, do they pay into the house at that time? Because mom and dad are still shilling up the money for the food, for the insurance, for the rent, for the clothes. Well, how do you turn this?
It depends on the age. Like, for instance, my daughter's 8 years old. She would not be paying into the rent, but it's a great opportunity to teach them about savings. And if they want special, for instance, for her, special toys or gadgets, it's a great way for her to start saving and say, okay, if I want this special item, maybe I can use some of the money that I made from my venture to support what I want, as well as teaching them about giving back to the community. My daughter wants to give back to schools across the country that are underprivileged, and give out shoes and that sort of thing. So it really opens up their mind. I mean, as parents, we have to think outside the box. Our children are way more advanced than they were when we were younger, and they're ready to explore, more adult sort of roles. Mm-hmm. Being a CEO at a young age is a great thing.
But are we not giving them the wrong message that, geez, it's nice that you're a kid. It's nice that you're an adolescent. It's nice that, you're a little more advanced than we were when we were kids, but you still have to have respect. You still have obligations that you do. You still have your chores that have to be done. You're not going to get a free pass.
Absolutely. Now, with becoming a boss, you're not going to neglect your household duties in respecting adult authority. That's not the way to go at all. Okay, you're mowing the lawn, you have a little business, okay, but that's not respect. It has nothing to do with respect. That's a separate category. Respect is something that should be ingrained into the child. I mean, whether you're 8 years old or whether you're 50, respect is respect, and doing the right thing is something that should be done regardless of age.
So what kind of businesses can a young person get into? For example, your daughter, what is her business?
So my daughter's 8 years old. Her first business was actually when she was 3 years old, and she started a tutu line. She saw me doing things, and she started grasping the concept. But then at 8, she's like, hey, Mom, I don't want to do tutus no more. I'm too big for that. So now she's doing she has her own sneaker line. So she designs her sneakers, and then we get them manufactured. We get them outsourced. And it's funny because she just met with QVC to pitch her product to QVC and then hopefully to some retailers throughout the United States. So she's the designer of her own footwear brand. Wow.
At the age of 8.
She's 8 years old with her own footwear brand.
Good for her. What are some
of
the...
you know, I just encourage parents to, you know, to motivate their children if it's something that they're into.
What other kind of businesses have you helped children or teens get into?
You have T-shirt lines. You have children who actually collected tons of books throughout their childhood, and now they have their own bookstore. So they would go to fairs and different outlets, and they would sell their books there. Of course, you have the cliched lemonade stands, and you have children who are authors. You have children who are they're producing their own movies. I mean, the sky's the limit. I mean, once you take off that cap, their imagination is, I mean, just like the clowns in their imagination, but if we can steer them the right way, their imaginations run wild. And if we can support them at a young age, I mean, you'll have a whole bunch of new Bill Gates and all kind of great people out here.
All right, that's the pro side. What are the drawbacks?
The drawbacks is, let's see, well, they're still kids. My daughter still plays in the park. She does a lot of other things. She's in activities and everything. The only drawback is if you want to make sure that your kid stays balanced. I mean, some parents may actually take it overboard and see it as a money maker for them, and it should not be. It should be a way for the child to understand, you know, investing and getting, you know, saving their money if they're going to college afterwards and whatnot. But the most important thing is that the child stays balanced. I mean, some parents may actually have their kids consumed in the business, and that's not what we want. We want them to have a passion, to allow their passion to make them money, but still be able to have fun. So we want that balance across the board.
Yeah, where do you draw that balance? Where is the balance? Because you get some kids, you know, they make a little bit of money and boy, oh boy, they just focus in on the money, the aspect of making money. Home, friends, church, whatever else is put to a side because they have been bitten by the money bug. And other kids, you know, they'll get the money and they'll say, I made a few bucks today. I'll go out buy a pair of jeans or I'll buy a new set of you know, running shoes or whatever the case may be, and they'll be satisfied. So how do you draw that line of sensibility since they are adolescents?
It's really up to the parents. I mean, the parents have to set the tone. If you go in saying, all I want to do is make money, and then that's gonna be their mindset. But if you go in there with a bigger picture, okay, you know, we're going to learn about saving. We're going to learn about speaking to other people. We're going to learn about negotiating deals. We're going to learn. So if you make it more of a learning process, and when the money the money that comes in is a bonus. So, you know, if they can use those tools for everyday life, then they've grasped the concept of being a kiddipreneur.
What happens if the information that they're being taught by a mentor is all wrong? Like if there's a lot of wannabe entrepreneur experts out there that are dire failures, yet in their mind, hey, they're a success. So how do you gauge who is who, and how do you vet them?
Well, the thing is that I have my own book, The KiddiePreneur In You, and I have a curriculum and modules that go along with the book. So I have a curriculum, and the curriculum we are looking for, you know, teachers, educators, business gurus, IBOs to take the actual curriculum and incorporate it into their teachings. If they incorporate the curriculum into their teachings, you really can't go wrong. It's when you start to go on tangents and move away from the curriculum and add your own into it, is when we deal with a lot of problems. And so far, we haven't had any. You will get these experts who claim that their way is the way, and if you don't follow their way, you'll falter. Yet when you follow their plan, you do still fall. You just have to learn how to decipher and know what's real and what's not. I mean, you have to look at the outcome.
Sure.
At the end of our programs, after 10 weeks, we do evaluations. And that's how we see where the kids are coming from, how the teachers are teaching, and then we get positive feedback from that way as well.
It's a 10-week program.
It's a 10-week program. It can be condensed to 8 weeks depending on how fast the youth are learning. We start at 3rd grade and it goes up into high school.
Fascinating. Listen, you and I have to take our final break for this hour. Please stand by, Crissy. Exonation, our guest this hour is Chrissy Steed. And if you'd like to find out more information about Crissy, her website is www.KiddiePreneur.com. That's KiddiePreneur.com. And Crissy is also the author of, a top-selling author, I might add, of the KiddiePreneur In You. And once again, her website, www.KiddiePreneur.com. Now, I've got a quick question for each and every one of you out there. Yep, you know the question I'm going to ask. How would you like to be part of UFO history? Yep, unidentified flying object history. There's a satellite program that will be launching. A satellite launching from the Mojave Desert in the summer of 2017 with a satellite on top, with the sole mission of looking for UFOs in close Earth orbit. If you'd like to become part of history, if you'd like to take part in this project, just go to www.cubesatfordisclosure.com. That's www.cubesatfordisclosure.com. Chrissy Steed and I return on the other side of this break as we wrap up this hour here in the X Zone from our broadcast center in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada. Don't go away.
As host of Dialogue with Divinity, I am thrilled to join the X Zone Broadcast Network and their growing number of affiliates. My quest for a connection to the divine ignited my successful career path as an international spiritual counselor for over 40 years, an author of 4 books, and well-known metaphysical educator. My clients call me their spiritual mama. So my job is to offer you a radio show to help you grow spiritually with wisdom and get specific tools from guests who are experts in their field. Tune in to Dialogue with Divinity and be part of the conversation with Spirit. My goal, your happy soul. For more information, please visit my website at johannacarroll.com.
Did you know that when you're on the road with limited data or Wi-Fi, you can still listen to the X Zone radio show with Rob McConnell, The Science of Magic with Gwilda Wiyaka, High Tech with Corey Kay, and every minute of the 24/7, 365 programming of the X Zone Broadcast Network by calling 712-432-9459, courtesy of TalkStream Live. No smartphone, app, or internet needed. It saves your data plan, and it's free if you have unlimited minutes. Call 712-432-9459 to listen on any phone, anytime, anywhere. Remember, 712-432-9459 for the best of paranormal, new age, thought-provoking, sci-fi radio programming 24/7, 365.
Coming soon to the X Zone Broadcast Network is A Different Perspective with me, Kevin Randall, as your host. We'll be taking a close look at what is happening in the world of UFOs today with side trips into the paranormal. Guests will range from those who are household names to those who have a different perspective on a variety of topics. No topic will be taboo, but there will be tough questions asked as we all search for the truth about UFOs, the paranormal, and those things that excite us. Sometimes we'll agree with a guest and sometimes we won't, but we'll try to keep the program topical. For those of you who would like to read, be sure to visit www.kevinrandle.blogspot.com and remember to listen to the other fine programs on the X Zone Broadcast Network at www.xzbn.net. This is Kevin Randle. For nearly 30 years, I have been investigating the case of the Roswell UFO. I have interviewed hundreds of people and stood on the crash site. Now in Roswell in the 21st century, I have reviewed dozens of hours of audio and videotaped interviews, examined hundreds of files that relate to the crash, and have returned to Roswell in an attempt to put all that information into the proper perspective. For the first time in Roswell in the 21st century, I have made a dispassionate reevaluation of all that material and provide a new look at what happened. This is a book that clears away all the clutter that has hidden the truth for so long, strips away the various lies that surround the case, exposes the Air Force attempts at cover-up, and found a core of solid information that tells us all where the case stands today. Roswell in the 21st century will be available in just a few weeks. For more information, please visit my website at www.kevinrandle.blogspot.com.
What Happened in Benghazi is revealed by Nicholas Genix, author of Obama, Islam, and Benghazi. He informs the American people that President Obama deceived them by advocating a strong foreign policy prior to the 2012 presidential election, and Hillary Clinton supported this deception. As the title infers, there is a connection between Obama, Islam, and Benghazi. Ample evidence informs Americans that Obama's early indoctrination in the Quran developed an affinity for Islam, why the Quran is the source of discontent in many countries, and why the Obama foreign policy deception led to poor military action and caused the loss of American lives in Benghazi. Genix provides 36 questions for the Select Committee on Benghazi to validate if Americans are justified to mistrust President Obama and Hillary Clinton. An overview of Obama, Islam, and Benghazi is presented on the website www.futureofgodamen.com. That's www.futureofgodamen.com. Afterlife expert Roberta Grimes was the first one to say that dying can be fun. Now her best-selling book, The Fun of Dying, is available in stores worldwide. So if you wonder whether death ends life, how it feels to die, or what heaven might be like, The Fun of Dying was written for you. And if you have always been afraid of death, or if you worry that your life has no meaning, let The Fun of Dying ease your fears and bring new meaning to your life. Nothing said in The Fun of Dying is based on the teachings of any religion. Instead, Roberta draws on evidence to explain how death happens, how it feels, and what comes next. A lot of the best death-related evidence was produced in the first half of the 20th century. When it is put together with recent discoveries, it tells a consistent and amazing story. Roberta Grimes blogs and answers questions at robertagrimes.com. Her wonderful book, The Fun of Dying, is available on Amazon and at stores worldwide wherever books are sold.
Welcome back, everyone. Chrissy Steed is our very special guest, and I've got to tell you something, Chrissy. I've been doing this show for 25 years, and you are one of the people that we've had the opportunity of having on the show for 25 years who, in my opinion, are making a great difference in the lives of many, many, many children, and my hat is off to you.
Thank you so much.
Your project, is it available only in the United States, or are you looking to expand? And if so, how could somebody become involved?
We are definitely looking to expand to other countries. Right now, we are based in the United States, but we are looking to expand. And if some people are interested in becoming IBOs, teachers, interested in adapting and taking on this curriculum in their schools, community programs, nonprofit organizations, and pretty much any youth organization, they can email info@just4uexpo.com, or they can visit our website, www.KiddiePreneur.com.
All right, we've got all that. We're going to put that on our website, and hopefully we'll be able to help get the message out there and help you with, the spread of your great idea. What's next for you? What's next for you, Crissy? Like, you've done so much already. You're the founder and CEO of the KiddiePreneur brand. You're an adolescent motivational expert. You're a strategic development coach. You're a top-selling author. You're a master educator and digital curation specialist. You're the creator of the KiddiePreneur educational curriculum. What's next?
Well, I want a reality show. I want to actually take people behind the scenes to see, so they can actually see what a kiddipreneur is, see what these kids are actually doing. I mean, because they're amazing. And I would love for the world to see that. So I'm trying to connect with some producers to actually make that a reality.
What are your, if for moms and dads listening who are still on the side of the highway somewhere with their jaw dropped, resting on the bottom of the steering wheel because they can't believe that you can actually motivate adolescents, what are some tips that you can give them?
Just in general, as a parent, be their support. Unfortunately, you're going to have to sacrifice some things, which is okay for now because they'll pay off in the end. Listen to your children. If they have an idea, hone their talents. But also remember to create boundaries and balance. I believe is important in developing a well-rounded child team. And that's really it. My main thing is support your children 1,000%, and let them know that you're there for them, because as you get older, you're going to want them to be there for you. So the roles are going to reverse. So just be there for your children and support their endeavors 1,000%. That's all I can really say. And you'll see the fruits of your labor as your children really begin to appreciate you. Yeah.
Crissy, I don't know one business person in this world who hasn't had a failure. Now, my way of looking at a failure in business, it's a lesson to success. How do you tell a child? How do you tell that to a child who has put his heart or her heart and soul into their little business, and something just sends them off their little world? It's a disaster. And well, you know how kids are. How do you tell them that this is part of success?
Well, I believe before you even begin to teach the concept of entrepreneurship, you must let them know that you failed. Because most entrepreneurs have failed. I failed,
sure.
In the beginning. Yep. Let them know that failure is okay. It's not, you failed is not a bad thing.
No, because a failure...
If you put that up front, let them know that it's okay to fail, it's not a bad thing, then you'll see them kind of bounce back quicker.
Maybe we should take the word fail out of the equation and use the word lesson.
Right.
Yeah.
Failure is not an option. Most people do. But things happen. You're not going to succeed 1,000%. It's okay if things don't go your way. Let's try it a different way. So with the KiddiePreneur curriculum and the modules, it's actually, we designed it so that kids can go back, and so if their first business didn't work out, they can go back and recreate another one. So they can keep going back and they can keep redeveloping their ideas until they finally find one that works. And you could bring up examples like the Bill Gates and the Marks from Facebook and how they failed in the beginning, but they were able to overcome that.
What is the most popular new business that young entrepreneurs are getting into?
Apps. Gaming is really popular right now. You see a lot of young entrepreneurs getting into apps and coding. That's probably one of the hottest areas right now.
They're the hottest areas right now. But you as an entrepreneurial guru, where do you see the markets in the next 5 to 10 years?
Well, it really depends. I do see the retail market still being as amazing as it is right now. So you're going to see a whole slew of, I believe, new retailers popping up. Not so much brick and mortar, but you're going to see businesses online. You're going to see a lot more businesses online. Retailers. You're going to see a lot more apps and computer gaming and those sort of systems being created. You're going to see new wave technology being created. I believe the ways of the past are going to be obsolete. A lot of the storefronts are probably not going to exist eventually. You're going to see everything online, or if you go into a store, it's not going to be where you can actually buy the product, but you can go in there and purchase a product on a computer and they ship it to your house. You're starting to see that now.
But isn't that being detrimental to the retail trade? Because what we're doing is we're actually teaching, or what we're doing is promoting the use of the computers and the online to take jobs away from thousands of people.
Well, not necessarily, because you're going to need those people to then handle the demand of the influx of all of those originally in-store sales. They're going to be now cut. You're going to need customer service online. You're going to need, so I think it's just going to move those people, those sort of people that were in the stores into a different area.
I understand that. But customer service online is usually now, sent out to either India, Pakistan, or Malaysia, or the Philippines. For example, if you have a problem with your Adobe software, customer support is in Pakistan. If you have a problem with some of the other software, you go to the Philippines. If you have a problem in Canada with Bell Canada, you're shipped somewhere else away from Canada. So we're not creating jobs in either Canada or the United States. What we're doing is we're sourcing out.
Well, when it comes to, then you have to think about corporate responsibility. When it comes to, like, if that becomes the future where jobs are now being, everything is online, everything is digitalized, then it's going to be the corporate responsibility to ensure that those people who no longer have those in-store sort of jobs, even though I don't think they're going to go away, but if they don't have those in-store jobs, that those people are still employed by the company. So corporations will have to take a long, hard look at that aspect of their business model. Unfortunately, when it comes to technology, and I've seen that because when I call, or if I call from my cable, I'm being outsourced overseas, which is horrible. But we need to fix that as a whole, as a country. To be honest, it's a bigger problem than just retail sales. It's crossing over a lot of industries.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree.
I understand that 100%. What are your final thoughts for our listeners?
My final thoughts is, just continue to push your children, be advocates for them, and support their growth. They'll really appreciate it. I've seen parents come to me at the end and say, you really inspired me. You helped me to work with my children. It's a great opportunity for parents to engage with their children on, with their projects and their activities, and they'll develop a stronger relationship.
Are there any statistics that would support the entrepreneur program when it comes to decreasing juvenile delinquency, for example?
We have not looked at that. We haven't compared or did an analytical analysis of that. But my thought process is parents who are engaged in their child's lives, and I believe there are statistics on this. Children are less likely to become incarcerated if parents are more involved in their life. That's why a lot of schools now, especially at the younger ages, they're advocating for parental engagement. That's a huge component because they realize the importance of it.
Gotcha. I understand. Crissy, I want to thank you so much for joining us. It's been a great pleasure talking to you. Once again, promote your book, promote your project, promote your website. Go ahead.
All right. Hey, guys, definitely come check out the KiddiePreneur In You brand. We are all about empowering the child as well as the parent. The KiddiePreneur In You book is available on Amazon. Check us out on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, the KiddiePreneur brand. And if anyone's interested in being a part of the program, definitely visit our website, www.KiddiePreneur.com.
Crissy, it's been a great pleasure talking to you. Keep us in the loop. Come back and tell us what's going on and what some of the great entrepreneur businesses that the kids are doing. We'd love to hear more from you.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me.
You take care of yourself, Crissy. Bye-bye now.
Take care. Bye.
All right, Exo Nation, Chrissy Steed has been our guest. And once again, her website is www.KiddiePreneur.com. I'll be back on the other side of this commercial break with the news as we continue here in the X Zone from our broadcast center in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada. If you'd like to check us out online, www.xzoneradiotv.com, on all social media sites, X Zone Radio TV. My name is Rob McConnell. Don't go away.